It's the Cleveland Sports Report. It is Saturday, May 6th, 1972, and the Indians will be playing the Chicago White Sox today. This week so far, the Indians have played 3 games. They went to Texas for their first ever trip to Arlington, where they played 2 games and split the 2 games. On Tuesday, they faced former member of the Indians, Rich Hand, who had just been called back up by the Rangers from Denver. And Rich Hand, who had a terrible 1971 season for the Indians, pitched 6 solid innings against them. And another former member of the Indians, also recently called up from Denver, Ted Ford, hit a home run in the game. And Texas ended up beating Cleveland on Tuesday 2-1. Milt Wilcox he had a pretty good start for the Indians, but the Indians' bats weren't able to do much against Rich Hand and then relief pitchers Jim Panther and Horacio Pena. Pena is also a former member of the Indians. Yeah, like I said, Ted Ford had just been called up from Denver. He was used in Cleveland mainly as a defensive replacement in 1970 and 71. He hit his third home run of the year in that game. That was off of Milt Wilcox. Wilcox drops to 1-3, but I think he's pitching a little bit better than his record shows. Then the following night, Dick Tidrow made his fourth start of the year. He had his second good start in a row. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 2 hits. And the game was basically a pitcher's duel between Tidrow and Dick Bosman. At the end of 7 innings, there was still no score, but then the Indians erupted with 5 hits and a walk and scored 4 runs in the eighth. But the Rangers responded with 2 runs of their own in the eighth. And all this was after the Indians got 2 outs. But that ended up being the final score, 4-2. Tidrow pitched well. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 2 hits. And Ed Farmer pitched 3 innings in relief, and he ended up getting the win. While Dick Bosman was over 3. Alex Johnson's bat seems to be heating up. He went 2 for 5. And rookie Buddy Bell went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles that night. And then after being off on Thursday, last night the Chicago White Sox came to Cleveland for a weekend series. They had a weekend series in Chicago 2 weekends ago, I believe, and Chicago took 2 out of 3 in that series. But last night, Vince Colbert made his first start of the year, and he pitched a complete game shutout against the White Sox. Tom Bradley pitched for the White Sox, and he was relieved by Dave Lemons. and the Indians won that game 2-0. Indians only got 4 hits, but they were able to make them count with Frank Duffy and Eddie Leone getting runs batted in. And Colbert was able to snuff out several White Sox rallies, including Ray Fosse getting throwing out 2 prospective base stealers. And let me find it here. Somebody was out at the plate. Yeah, Pat Kelly was out at the plate trying to score on a double from first base in the 4th inning. And Cleveland was able to hold on for a 2-0 win. Ken Aspromonte was asked about if Gaylord Perry would be pitching this weekend against Chicago, and he said probably not. Perry will probably be pitching next week when either Kansas City or Texas comes to the stadium. Said right now he is being they have him penciled in to pitch on Tuesday night against Chicago. They had thought about bringing up Steve Dunning from Portland, but decided not to when Perry didn't go on the disabled list. And they have Phil Hennigan, who is eligible to come off the disabled list, but they're not ready to bring him up yet. They want to wait until they're sure that his arm is completely better. Well, that's all for now, and we will be back shortly with the start of the Cleveland Indians game against the Chicago White Sox. It's Cleveland Indians baseball, 1972. This is WJST in Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa. It's Saturday, May 6, 1972. Cleveland Indians will be taking on the Chicago White Sox. Indians beat the White Sox last night, and I'll tell you, this was a big day for me personally. I probably wasn't really paying attention to the game today because on May 6, 1972, the first Saturday in May, was the day I made my first communion. And as any Catholic school kid from the Cleveland area will tell you, that was a pretty big deal. We had a communion party, and I don't remember if it was on Saturday or if it was the day after. If it was on Saturday, then the day after, my dad and I may have very well went to the Indians game because Gaylord Perry in real life was scheduled to pitch. I remember getting $122 at my communion party, and adjusting that for inflation, that's about $970 today. My parents let me keep $22 of it, I remember, for buying probably books and baseball cards and maybe a couple of games. And $22 in 1972, I looked up, it is worth about $175 in 2026 money. But I mean, this was over 50 years ago, and I still have some vivid memories of it. It's like I said, it was a big deal at our school. We practiced or rehearsed for it for, I want to say at least 2 months. Probably once the weather became more spring like. But hey, it was a big deal, and I still remember it, and I don't remember if I watched any of this game after we got home. I remember the kid across the street from me was there too, even though he was a public school student. And I remember he got sick during it, and his parents had to take him out. And I went over there to see how he was doing, and he was just sipping on some Alka-Seltzer. And he didn't seem like he was all that shaken up about having to leave. And we'll get to the game here. Cleveland, having won last night, they're 7-8 right now, so they're shooting for a 500 record today. Taking on the Chicago White Sox, who are 8-7. White Sox are in third place in the AL West. They're a game and a half behind league leading Oakland. California had been in the lead, and then they had a series with Baltimore, who has the best record in the majors right now. Baltimore swept them, and that let Oakland slide into first place. So or Chicago rather, wants to get back on the winning track and make their move back toward first place. Cleveland is 7-8. They're in third place. They're 5 games behind Baltimore. But this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Cleveland has won 2 and lost 1. They're actually playing pretty good. Ray Lamb makes his first start of the year today, while Stan Bonson will start for Chicago. He's made 4 starts on the year. He's 1-3 with an ERA of 5.32. And Ray Lamb, like I said, is making his first start of the year. It's 62 degrees. Wind speed is 17 miles per hour left to right, so the wind's coming in off the lake, and we have light rain. From what I remember of that day in 1972, the weather was better in real life than it is here in my APC universe. The Chicago White Sox starting lineup will be leading off the left fielder Carlos May. He was the MVP last season. Batting second to right fielder Pat Kelly. Pat Kelly's brother is Cleveland Browns running back Leroy Kelly. So Leroy Kelly will be here, probably torn a little bit whether to root for the Indians or for his brother. Batting third to first baseman Dick Allen. He is having quite a season coming over to the American League. Batting fourth, the catcher Ed Herman. Batting fifth, the second baseman Mike Andrews. Batting sixth, the center fielder Jay Johnstone. Batting seventh, the third baseman George Orta. Batting eighth, the shortstop Rich Morales. And batting ninth, the pitcher Stan Bonson. The Indians on defense will have Chris Chambliss at first base, Jack Brohammer at second, Frank Duffy at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Alex Johnson in left, Del Unser in center, Buddy Bell in right, Jerry Moses catching, and on the mound, Ray Lamb. Lamb has pitched. He is 7.2 innings this season so far. He's given up 5 hits. He's walked 3. He has struck out 5. This will be his Fifth game pitching. His last appearance was on April 30th against the Royals. He pitched an inning and two-thirds. He walked one, he struck out one. He has no wins or losses this year. He has an ERA of 1.17. He pitched two innings against Chicago on April 25th, a game that the Indians won 6-5. He pitched two innings. He gave up three hits, one run. He walked two. He struck out one. He is he's pitched pretty well in relief this year. He was a real disappointment to me last season after coming over from the Dodgers. He didn't pitch for as well for me in this universe as he did in real life. So I was hoping to see him make something of a comeback in 1972, and he's gotten off to a good start this season. So here we go. It's time to play ball. Leading off is Carlos May, hitting 269, one home run, 5 runs batted in. Here's the first pitch, and he fouls it back. Strike one. Ball one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. That was off the corner. Ball two. Fly ball down the right field line. Buddy Bell is after it, but it is hooking foul. Caught the inside corner. Strike three called. Carlos May is out looking. One out. That's strikeout number one for Lamb. Here's the right fielder, Pat Kelly. Kelly is hitting 250, one home run, and 5 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder to short. Duffy has it. Throws first. 2 outs. That brings up Dick Allen. Allen's hitting 327 with 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. This is his first season in the American League. He was the Rookie of the Year back in 1964 with the Philadelphia Phillies. He is 3 for 12 against Cleveland this year with a double and a home run. The 2-0 pitch. Grounder right back to the mound. Lamb has it and throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Chicago in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Chicago, nothing. Cleveland coming to bat. Cleveland will lead off with Del Unser, the center fielder. Batting second, the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the left fielder, Alex Johnson. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Buddy Bell. Batting sixth, the catcher, Jerry Moses. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Frank Duffy. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Jack Brohammer. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Ray Lamb. On defense, the White Sox have Dick Allen at first, Mike Andrews at second, Rich Morales at short, George Orta at third, Carlos May in left, Jay Johnstone in center, Pat Kelly in right, Ed Herman catching, and on the mound, Stan Bonson. Stan Bonson was the Rookie of the Year in 1968. He went 19-15 and helped pitch the New York Yankees to the American League pennant. ultimately lost the World Series that year to the Pittsburgh Pirates. He had a bad case of the sophomore slump in 1969, but pitched pretty good in 1970 and 71. He came over to the White Sox in the offseason from the Yankees in a trade involving him going to Chicago and Rich McKinney going to New York. And leading off for Cleveland is Del Unser, the center fielder. He's hitting .283, no home runs, and 6 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Pat Kelly drifting back. He's got it. 1 out. There's Chris Chambliss. He's hitting .341, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. And just like Stan Bonson and Rich Allen, Chris Chambliss was Rookie of the Year. He was the AL Rookie of the Year last season. The 1-1 pitch. Liner right back to the mound, and Bonson makes the catch. 2 outs. That brings up Alex Johnson. Johnson is hitting .196, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Johnson slumped a little bit. But then he went on a 5-game hitting streak. He was hitless yesterday, though. And he's hitting .231 for the month of May. The 3-1 pitch. Bouncer to first. Allen has it, but he's just going to hold on to it. Johnson safe with an infield single. So 2 outs, runner on first, and that brings up Greg Nettles. Nettles is hitting .315, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He has played in every inning of every game since opening day of 1971. Last time he was sat out a game was the final day of the 1970 season. Change up, swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Bonson, I should have said, is 1-3 with an ERA of 5.18. He's pitched 24 and a third innings now after the 2 outs in this inning. Given up 30 hits, 2 of those home runs. He's walked 11, he struck out 12. So he's off to a bit of a tough start in his debut with Chicago. Throw to first. Johnson's back. Yeah, I don't remember Bonson as a member of the Yankees. I remember him primarily as a member of the White Sox. Strike 2 called. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 1 inning here in Cleveland, no score. It's the heart of the order for Chicago in the second. Ed Herman, Mike Andrews, and Jay Johnstone. Ed Herman, the catcher, is hitting .244. No home runs, 6 runs batted in. The 3-0 pitch. High and outside, just barely missed. Ball 4. First walk given up by Ray Lamb and the first base runner for Chicago. Here is Mike Andrews, formerly of the Boston Red Sox. He's in his second year with Chicago. He He was a regular with the Red Sox and became more of a utility player last season. Andrews is hitting 204, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. Strike one called. Curveball. He lays down a bunt. Chambliss has it. Throws the Broham recovering. 1 out. Herman advances to second. That brings up Jay Johnstone, the center fielder. Johnstone's hitting 207. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. Chicago surprised a lot of people last year when they made it all the way to the American League Championship Series. I was kind of rooting for them to beat Baltimore since, with their close proximity to Cleveland, I would tend to root for teams like the White Sox and the Tigers, and later on in the 90s, the Pirates. Fly ball in the right field. Buddy Bell near the right field line has it. 2 outs. Here is George Orta, the third baseman. They have Bill Melton on the bench, and Melton is fighting some leg injuries, I believe. And he is not been an everyday player this season so far. Let me see here. Yeah, he pinch hit. He's only made 2 appearances in May so far, both as a pinch hitter. So I think he's fighting some nagging injuries right now. And a spoiler alert, of course, George Orta, future member of the Cleveland Indians. Swing and a miss, strike one. Orta's hitting 320 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Across the knees, fastball, strike 2. Too high, ball 1. That was in tight, ball 2. Low, ball 3, full count. Ball 4. Puts runners on first and second. 2 out. Here is Rich Morales, the shortstop. He is over 10 on the season. He is replacing the injured Luis Alvarado. He was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Yeah, he was plugged into the lineup by Chuck Tanner after Alvarado got hurt. And Alvarado is expected to be out for all of May and maybe all of June as well. Fouls it back, strike 1. Stan Bonson's on deck. Grounder up the middle. Duffy to his left has it. Throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Chicago nothing, Cleveland nothing. For Cleveland in the second, it is be Buddy Bell, Jerry Moses, and Frank Duffy. Buddy Bell, the rookie's hitting 218, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. He's been playing in Cleveland for about 3 weeks now, and he's already become exceptionally popular in the city of Cleveland. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball in center field. Johnstone drifting back. He has it. 1 out. Here is Jerry Moses, the catcher. Moses came over to the Indians from California along with Alex Johnson in the trade that sent Vada Pinson to the Angels. He is 0 for 4 on the season. This is his second start, I believe. Yeah, he appeared as a pinch hitter in one game against Baltimore, and he had one start against Kansas City last weekend when the Indians lost the game 4-0. So he is 0 for 4 on the season. The 1-2 pitch. Liner into center field. Johnstone racing in, but he's going to let it drop. It's Jerry Moses' first hit of the season. First hit as a member of the Cleveland Indians. That brings up the shortstop, Frank Duffy. Duffy's hitting 204, no home runs, 6 runs batted in. Too high, ball 1. Grounder up the middle. Andrews. To his right, has it. Steps on second for 1. To throw to first, not in time. 2 outs. That brings up Jack Brohammer. Brohammer, another rookie. He's hitting 074. No home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 2 for 27 on the season. I believe he got his first hit on his 19th at bat of the year, but he's had 2 hits in his last 3 starts. So he might be shaking off the nerves. He's made 4 errors in the field, so I think he's still a little nervous being up in the big leagues. First pitch is ball 1. Grounder to short. Morales tosses to second, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 2 here in Cleveland, no score. For the White Sox in the 3rd inning. Excuse me, 1 minute here. I am all tangled up in a bunch of cords. I cannot tell what I'm doing here. Okay, we are back for the 3rd inning. For Chicago, it will be Bonson, May, and Kelly. Stan Bonson is 2 for 8 as a hitter this year. He has no home runs, 1 run batted in. The 2-0 pitch. Bouncer to first. Chambliss will take it himself. 1 out. There's Carlos May. He is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first inning. Curveball, foul tips. That was right off his foot. They're going to let him walk it off a bit. And the count remains 1-2. Grounder right back to the mound. Blam bobbles it. But he's able to pick it up and throw him out. 2 outs. Here's Pat Kelly. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to Frank Duffy back in the first inning. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 2 for Lamb. Nothing across for Chicago in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. For Cleveland in the third inning, it will be Ray Lamb, Del Unser, Chris Chambliss. This, I believe, is Ray Lamb's first time to the plate this season. Yeah, this is his first plate appearance. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to short. Morales throws. 1 out. That brings up Del Unser. Unser is 0 for 1. He flat out to Pat Kelly in the first inning. It's fly ball in the right field. Kelly's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Chris Chambliss, who's 0 for 1. He had a liner right back to Bonson in the first, and Bonson caught that more out of self-defense than anything else. The 1-1 pitch. Base hit into left field. May throws it back in. Chambliss at first with a single. Third hit given up by Bonson. And that brings up Alex Johnson, who's 1 for 1. He was safe on an infield single back in the first. Hit a slow roller that Dick Allen had to come in to pick up, and Allen just held on to the ball rather than risk an error. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss on a changeup, strike 2. Ball 1, another fastball. Pops it up, third base side, foul ground. Orta's after it. Near the bullpen. He's got it, 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 3 here in Cleveland, no score. Take a look around the league. Bottom of the second in Detroit. The Rangers and Tigers are tied at 2. Norm Cash hit his 5th home run of the year for the Tigers. That is Rich Hand, who pitched well against Cleveland on Tuesday. Maybe it was just change of scenery that he needed. He tried last year, but he just didn't have it. He said he was happy to go to Texas because he thought that the Rangers really wanted him, and that even though Ted Williams, first thing Williams said to him was, you know, I'm Ted Williams, I hate pitchers. And Hand said, I'm Rich Hand, I hate hitters. They shook hands, and he thinks that Williams has some confidence in his pitching ability and might be off to a good start this year. Tom Timmerman is pitching for Detroit. Bottom of the second in Philadelphia. Phillies lead the Giants 2-0. Terry Harmon hit his first home run of the year for the Phillies. That is our old friend Sam McDowell against Steve Carlton. I read something interesting in sporting news. In fact, it actually wouldn't be published in my APC universe until after the games of tomorrow. But Dick Young of the New York Daily News claimed that in 1971, the Mets negotiated a deal for Willie Mays, but at the last minute, Horace Stoneham of the Giants ended up declining the deal because of how well the Giants were doing at the time. True or not, I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on that. Top of the third in Cincinnati, the Pirates lead the Reds 1-0. That's Steve Blass against Wayne Simpson. And bottom of the second at Fenway Park, the Twins and Red Sox are tied at 2. That's Jim Perry against Sonny Siebert, a pair of former Indians. And we got word from Montreal already that the Expos Dodgers game has been rained out. In the fourth inning for Chicago will be Dick Allen, Ed Herman, and Mike Andrews. Dick Allen is 0 for 1. He grounded out to Ray Lamb in the first inning. I'm just going to pause for 1 minute. Okay, and we're back. This is WJST, Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa. Leading off in the fourth inning for Chicago is Dick Allen. Hitting .282 against right-handers. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Alex Johnson drifting back. It's gone. Home run. That is home run number 5 for Allen, and Chicago takes a 1-0 lead. Cleveland Stadium, even though they increased the size of the fence, is still a soft touch for home runs. Something that a pitcher like Rich Hand might be glad to be out of Cleveland now because of that. That brings up Ed Herman. Herman walked back in the second inning. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He swung at a bad pitch there on the fastball. 1 out. Here is Mike Andrews. He was out on a sacrifice bunt in the second inning. Okay, I gotta go back and read what happened there. Hard grounder up the middle. Diving stop by Brohammer. Flip to Duffy. Duffy throws to first. Out. What a play. All right, let's watch that one again. I guess that's the throw to Chambliss. Duffy and Brohammer, those kids are pretty good on defense, even with Brohammer's errors. Duffy's made a few errors too, but they seem like they're the kind of guys that their errors are more likely to come on easy plays than on difficult ones. Here's the center fielder, Jay Johnstone. He's 0 for 1. He had a shallow fly ball to Buddy Bell back in the second inning. Inning 231 against right-handers, the 2-1 pitch. Grounder to second to Brohammer. Throws to first. 3 outs. Chicago gets 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Dick Allen's 5th home run of the season. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. It'll be the heart of the order for Cleveland in the 4th. Greg Nettles, Buddy Bell, and Jerry Moses. Nettles is 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch. Blooper right to the shortstop. Morales jumps. And he's got it. 1 out. You look for a minute like there might have been a collision between Morales and Johnstone. But Morales was able to focus on the ball and make the play. 1 out. So we've already had some good middle infield performances in this game in the 4th inning on both sides. Here's Buddy Bell. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to Johnstone in the 2nd. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh, he got hit in the midsection. Here comes the Indians' new trainer, Jim Warfield. He is looking him over. And I'll have to see it. It says that Buddy Bell is out for today, and then it also says he's injured and stays in the game. First pitch of Jerry Moses. Swing and a miss, strike 1. All right, for right now, I am going to leave Buddy Bell in the game. Moses is 1 for 1. He singled in the 2nd. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Breaking ball, too close, ball 1. Changeup, he fouls that one back. Pops it up on the infield. Morales takes charge, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Frank Duffy. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the 2nd. Curveball, too high, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. It's a slow roller to short. Morales has it. He'll hold on to that one. That puts runners at first and second. 2 outs. Brings up Jack Brohammer, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the 2nd. Fastball, inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. It's fly ball in the right field. Kelly to his right has it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We played 4 innings here in Cleveland. It is the White Sox 1, the Indians nothing. And Buddy Bell will remain in the game for the moment. It'll be the bottom of the order for Chicago in the 5th. George Orta, Rich Morales, and Stan Bonson. George Orta walked in the 2nd inning. He has a 6-game hitting streak. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder to first. Chambliss has it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here's Rich Morales. He's 0 for 1. He grounded at Duffy in the 2nd inning. He's looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 11 on the season. It's a grounder to second. Brohammer is up with it. Throws him out. 2 outs. And here's the pitcher, Stan Bonson. He's 0 for 1. He grounded at Chambliss in the 3rd. Swing and a miss, strike three. That is strikeout number 4 for Lamb. Nothing across for Chicago in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. For Cleveland in the 5th, it will be Ray Lamb, Del Unser, and Chris Chambliss. Lamb is 0 for 1. He grounded to Morales. Back in the 3rd. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. The ball got away from Herman. He had to throw to first for the out. 1 out. Here's Del Unser. He's 0 for 2 today. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Strikeout number 3 for Bonson. That brings up Chris Chambliss, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the 3rd. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Bonson strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We played 5 complete in Cleveland. It's an official game here at Cleveland Stadium. Chicago leads 1-0. It'll be the top of the order for the White Sox in the 6th. Carlos May leads off. He is 0 for 2 today. The 3-1 pitch. Base hit in the left field. Only the second hit of the game given up by Ray Lamb. That brings up Pat Kelly. Kelly's 0 for 2. Throw to first. May is back. Dick Allen's on deck. Kelly lays down a bunt. Moses has it. Throws a Broham recovering. 1 out. That advances Carlos May to second. Brings up Dick Allen. He's 1 for 2 today. He had a solo home run in the 4th. Curveball. Strike 1 called. Another breaking ball. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on a fastball. The 1-2 pitch. High and outside. Ball 2. Too high. Ball 3. Full count. Ball 4. That's walk number 3 given up by Lambs. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Here is Ed Herman, the catcher. He's hitting .238. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Jerry Moses to confer with Ray Lamb. Herman struck out in the 4th. Low and in. Ball 1. Too high. Ball 2. That caught the inside corner of the fastball. Strike 1. Caught the inside corner at the knee. Strike 2. Another good fastball. Strike 3 called. That is strikeout number 5 for Ray Lamb. That brings up Mike Andrews, who's 0 for 1. He hit a grounded out to second, and he had a sacrifice bunt. Fastball, ball 1. Grounder right back to the mound. Lamb fields it and throws him out. Lamb worked his way out of a jam in that inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Cleveland. It is Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. Alex Johnson leads off for Cleveland. He is 1 for 2 with a single. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball in the left center. May is after it. He calls off John Stone, and he'll take it. 1 out. That brings up Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 2. He lined out to the shortstop in the fourth. The 1-1 pitch. It's a fly pop-up on the infield, and Andrews takes it. 2 outs. Here's Buddy Bell. He's 0 for 1. He flied to center in the second. He was hit by a pitch in the fourth. The 3-2 pitch. Base hit in the center field. Bell stops at first with a single. Here's Jerry Moses. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the second and popped out to Morales in the fourth. In there below the belt, strike 1. Just off the ground, ball 1. High, way inside, ball 2. Base hit up the middle. Bell rounds second, he'll take third. Indians have runners at the corners, 2 outs. And here's Frank Duffy, who's 1 for 2. He had an infield single in the fourth. Curveball, high and away, ball 1. Ooh, he got hit in the midsection. That'll load the bases. Here's Jack Brohammer. He is 0 for 2. Grounded into a force play and flied out to John Stone in the fourth. Way inside, ball 1. Ray Lamb is on deck. 2 high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. In the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Got the inside corner, strike 1. Brohammer taken all the way on that one. Grounder to third. Orta up with it. Throws him out. 3 outs, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left the bases loaded. Bonson worked his way out of a jam. He still has his shutout going at the end of 6. It's Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. It'll be John Stone, Orta, and Morales for Chicago in the 7th. Jay Johnstone is 0 for 2 on the day. He flied to right in the second inning. It's a grounder to the shortstop. Duffy has it and throws him out. 1 out. Here's George Orta. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 6 for Ray Lamb. And here is Rich Morales, who's 0 for 2. 3-1 pitch. He hits a base hit in the left field. That brings up the pitcher, Stan Bonson. Bonson's 0 for 2 today. Fly ball down the left field line, but it's hooking foul. Strike 1. Fouls it back. Strike 2. Strike 3 call. That is strikeout number 7 given up by Ray Lamb. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. Take a look around the league again. The bottom of the 5th. In Detroit, the Tigers lead the Rangers 6-3. Al Kaline hit his second home run of the year for Detroit. It's Jim Schellenbach pitching for Texas and Tom Timmerman for Detroit. Bottom of the 4th in Philadelphia. Giants lead the Phillies 5-2. That is Sam McDowell against Steve Carlton. Bottom of the fourth in Cincinnati. Reds lead the Pirates 4-1. That is Steve Blass against Tom Hall. And bottom of the fifth at Fenway Park. Twins 5, the Red Sox 2. That's Jim Perry against Sonny Siebert. Bottom of the seventh for Cleveland will be Lamb, Unser, and Chambliss. Ray Lamb is 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded to the shortstop and he struck out. Under normal circumstances, I think Aspromonte would send in a pinch hitter and pull Lamb, but the Indians are pitching a man short right now. The 2-2 pitch. He looks at strike 3. That is strikeout number 5 for Bonson. That brings up Del Unser. Unser's 0 for 3 today. The 3-1 pitch. Too high, ball 4. Here comes Chuck Tanner, and it looks like that'll be all for Stan Bonson. Vicente Romo is coming in to pitch, making his 7th appearance of the year. He has a record of 1-0 with 1 save, an ERA of 8.59. In 7 1/3 innings, he's given up 9 hits. 1 of those is a home run. He's walked 7. He has struck out 1. Romo spent parts of the 1968 and 1969 season pitching for Cleveland. In fact, he was a bullpen factor in 1968 when Cleveland actually made a run for the pennant. He's in his 2nd season with the White Sox. Chris Chambliss is 1 for 3. He singled back in the 3rd. Fastball, strike 1 call. Vicente is a hard thrower. Keeps the ball up, and he is not noted for his control. One of the few major leaguers to come out of Mexico in the Mexican League. Chambliss hits fly ball into center field. Johnstone going back. He's at the track, and he's got it. 2 outs. That brings up Alex Johnson, who's 1 for 3. He had an infield single back in the 1st. Fly ball down the left field line. That is foul. Throw to first. Unser's back. Fouls it back. That was a curveball. 2 strikes. Ball 1. Pops it up third base side. Ord is after it near the bullpen, but it makes the seats. Up and in. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Down and in. Ball 3. Full count. 2 outs. Runner on first. The payoff pitch. Johnson hits base hit in the right field. Kelly's up with it. Unser was off with the pitch. He rounds second. He'll take 3rd. So the Indians have 2 outs. Runners at the corners. They are down by 1. Greg Nettles is up. He's 0 for 3 today. He hits a blooper right to third base. And Orta pulls it in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Indians leave 2 men on base. We played 7 innings. It is Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. It'll be the top of the order for Chicago. Carlos May, Pat Kelly, and Dick Allen. Carlos May is 1 for 3 with a single today. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Del Unser takes a few steps in. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Pat Kelly. He's 0 for 2. He had a ground out, a strikeout, and a sacrifice bunt. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Brohammer to his right. Backhands it. Throws him out. 2 outs. Here is Dick Allen. He is 1 for 2. He had a walk and a solo home run in the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit into left field. That's his second hit of the game. That brings up Ed Herman, who's 0 for 2 today. Herman is 0 for 2 with a walk. Low and inside, ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 3. Allen's going for second. The throw, he is safe. That's his 3rd stolen base of the year. Pitch was called a strike, so it's full count, 2 outs. Foul tip. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the game for Ed Herman. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. For the Indians in the 8th inning, it will be Buddy Bell, Jerry Moses, and Frank Duffy. Bell is 1 for 2 with a single. He was also hit by a pitch today. The 1-0 pitch. Base hit up the middle. Bell's on first. He represents the tying run. That brings up Jerry Moses, who's 2 for 3. With a pair of singles. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Hits a liner into right field. That'll make the corner. Gets past Kelly. Coach Bobby Hoffman has Bell hold up at 3rd. So nobody out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. That brings up Frank Duffy, who's 1 for 2 with a single. He was also hit by a pitch. Chicago draws the infield in. Inside, ball 1. Hits a fly ball in the left field, down the line. May is after it, but that makes the seats. Strike 1. Strike 2 called. Romo's bringing some heat. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on another fastball. Pinch hitting for Jack Brohammer will be Tom McCraw. McCraw's hitting 208 on the season. No home runs, 1 run batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting 250. He is 1 for 4 with a strikeout as a pinch hitter. Tom McCraw came to Cleveland along with Roy Foster from the Rangers for Ted Ford. Ted Ford, who had hit a home run against Cleveland on Tuesday. In fact, the Indians traded Roy Foster to the Rangers in the deal that brought Del Unser and Denny Riddleberger to Cleveland. And then they traded Ted Ford to the Rangers to bring Roy Foster back, and Tom McCraw was also included in that deal. Bell on third represents the tying run. Moses on second represents the go-ahead run. Base hit into right field. Bell scores. Moses stops at second, or at third. Game is tied, 1-1. And pinch hitting for Ray Lamb will be Roy Foster. Foster's hitting .333 on the season. He's 3 for 9. Yeah, 3 for 9, and he is 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. He's been with Cleveland since the 1970 season. Although, like I said, he left the team and came back without ever actually having played for Texas. 1 out, runners at the corner. In the dirt and inside, ball 1. Just a bit inside, ball 2. Grounder up the middle, base hit. Moses scores. McCraw around second. He's going for third. The throw, he is safe. Andrews was not able to get to that. Cleveland takes a 2-1 lead. That brings up Del Unser. He's 0 for 3 today with a walk. He chased a fastball out of the strike zone. Strike 1. That one hit 95. Did see that Romo did pitch one that hit 96. He throws hard. Ooh, he hit 98 there. Low and away, ball 1. Breaking ball. Low and inside, ball 2. Grounder to short. This could be 2. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. McCraw scores. It's 3-1 Cleveland. 2 outs. That brings up Chris Chambliss, who's 1 for 4. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Inside, ball 1. Another base hit in the left center, all the way to the wall. Unser rounds third. He'll score. Chambliss is in at second with a stand-up double. Jay Johnstone, he tried to angle onto that ball, but it got by him. It's 4-1 Cleveland. And here's Alex Johnson, who's 2 for 4. Had an infield single in the first, and he had another single in the 7th. He's 2 for 4 on the day. Changeup, that one's right back to the mound. Romo throws him out. 3 outs, but it's a big inning for Cleveland. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And they leave 1 on base. Yeah, they left 1 on base. So we go to the 9th inning. Cleveland 4, Chicago 1. Coming into play second base for Cleveland will be Eddie Leone. Roy Foster stays in the game playing left field. And the new pitcher is Denny Riddleberger. Riddleberger will take the number 3 spot that Alex Johnson had in the batting order. Riddleberger is making his 5th appearance of the year. He has a record of 1-0 with an ERA of 8.44. He has 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 9 hits. One of those is a home run. He's walked 4, struck out 3. He came to Cleveland in the same trade that brought Del Unser over from Texas. Riddleberger, he's been a little shaky coming out of the bullpen this year. This is his 2nd appearance against Chicago. Last time against Chicago, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, he walked 2, he struck out 2. He got the win that day. Last time out was against Kansas City. He went an inning and a third, gave up 3 hits and 2 unearned runs. For the White Sox, it will be Mike Andrews, Jay Johnstone, and George Orta. Andrews is 0 for 2 today. All right, and we're back. Andrews is 0 for 2. I think the game, for some reason, is not crediting with Andrews that bad in the 4th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive to short. Duffy leaps. Got it. 1 out. Jay Johnstone, he's 0 for 3 today. Nope, they're sending up Rick Reichart to pinch hit. Reichardt's hitting .226, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. This is his first pinch hitting attempt of the season. Or no, it says he's 1 for 6. Grounder to short. 2 outs. Chicago's down to their last out. It's George Orta, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Up there, sending up. Walt Williams, a pinch hit. Williams is hitting 242. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. He's 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. And spoiler alert, Walt Williams, future member of the Cleveland Indians. The 2-1 pitch, fly ball, right field. Down the line, Bell is after it, but it's foul. 2 strikes. Grounder to short. Duffy to throw to first. Pulled Chambliss off the bag. That's error number 5 for Frank Duffy on the season. That brings up Rich Morales, who is 1 for 3 today. Outside, ball 1. That caught the inside corner, strike 1. Ball 2. Caught the outside corner, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hits a blooper right to first. Chambliss has it. And that's the ball game. Cleveland 4, Chicago 1. Cleveland had 4 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They left 11 men on base. Chicago has 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They left 7 men on base. Ray Lamb gets the win. He is 1-0, while Vicente Romo takes the loss. He's 1-1. Denny Riddleberger gets his first save of the year. Lamb is the star of the game. He is 1-0. He pitched 8 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. That was Dick Allen's 4th inning home run. He walked 3, he struck out 8. Stan Bonson had a good start. He pitched 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits, no runs. He walked 1, he struck out 5. Vicente Romo, though, struggled. He blew the save. In an inning and 2/3, he gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned in the 8th inning. He struck out 1. Denny Riddleberger pitched 1 inning. Gave up no hits or walks. 1 man got on base due to an error. Buddy Bell went 2 for 3 for the Indians today. And Jerry Moses was a hitting star. He went 3 for 4. Chambliss went 2 for 5. Alex Johnson went 2 for 5. So the Indians were hitting the ball pretty good. Pinch hitter Tom McCraw drove in a run. He drove in the Indians' first run of the game. Pinch hitter Roy Foster drove in the Indians' second run of the game, the go-ahead run. Del Unser on a force play drove in the 3rd run. And Chambliss doubled in the final run of the game for Cleveland. Yeah, for some reason the game is not including Mike Andrews at bat for the 4th inning. Not sure what happened there, but I don't know. Maybe I can add it, maybe not. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Once again, final score: Cleveland 4, Chicago 1. Join us tomorrow where Cleveland will go for the sweep against Chicago. The projected starters will be Milt Wilcox for the Indians and the 1971 Cy Young Award winner Wilbur Wood for the White Sox. Cleveland raises their record to 8-8. They're at 4. They're at 500 now. And once again, final score is Cleveland 4, Chicago 1. Hope you enjoyed this exciting game. And thank you for watching.